maju ibuku Indonesia.
Bela Islam saya di sini. Di tengah-tengah agama Islam, kenapa harus ada gereja?
Mudah-mudahan ini semua akan dicatat oleh Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Mari kita lanjutkan salawat kita sampai akhirnya bangunan ini dieksekusi oleh pemerintah. Mari kita lanjutkan salawat kita, Bu.
Dan hari ini pemerintah Kabupaten Bekasi akan membongkar gedung yang sudah kami bangun.
We are not safe any longer in our own place, in our own houses. We are not free to believe in what we want to believe.
But we are very worried the increase of the intolerance group.
Nggak ada keadilan sama sekali di dunia ini. Di Indonesia ini nggak ada keadilan.
Indonesia has long been praised for its remarkable transformation from dictatorship to democracy, and for its long tradition of religious pluralism and religious freedom. It is the largest Muslim majority nation, but its tradition of religious freedom and pluralism is increasingly under threat from radical Islam, which is affecting all people in Indonesia. It is affecting Christians. Many churches have been closed or harassed. It is affecting the Ahmadiyya community, which has been severely persecuted and victimized. It is affecting the Shia, and it's affecting the majority moderate Muslims who don't like intolerance. And so we believe that there is an urgent need for action against what is undermining all that Indonesia has achieved.
For a long time, we lived together among Muslim, Christian, Hinduism, and Buddhism with harmony. We have experienced one. It's a big capital of Indonesia. But since last 15 years, there is a dispute. We start from radical one, fundamentalist one, who comes from abroad. It comes to Indonesia, try to change the Muslim in Indonesia instead of become really Muslim, but become Arab people. Arabization process is happening. So in one hand, we as a Christian always skeptic with the Westernization in Indonesia, but now our brother and sister from Muslim in Indonesia also now has the problem of Arabization. This is the big problem now that makes so many violence, many church attack, the minority attack, not only religious but also culture, a certain culture who they value as a different with quote-to-quote pure Muslim.
Yes, on 21 March this year, the government destroyed our new building, and I think it is very not good from government, because they know that we have processing our permit in this town.
How was the building complete, or what percentage of the building was already complete?
Not yet. The new building just by stone up to 5 meters around this old church, old building, and they broke the new building and not destroy to the old building.
And when they came, how many people came, and were they in uniform?
Yes, some of them is from government, they are policemen, they are Satpol PP, and some from them is from the Kesbangpol we call here. He is his job is to the problem of the permit some building or a building. And beside them, there are also many intolerant people came here, and also quite sound to say destroy the building, destroy this building, because there's not a permit here.
When you say intolerance people, were they from FPI or other groups?
Yes, there are some from group. There are FPI and FUI, Forum Umat Islam, and for the other group, I don't know, but they also make the symbolism on their jacket, on their dress.
And what reason did they give when they came, especially the government people, what reason did they give for destroying?
Sorry?
What?
Alasan apa ketika mereka datang ke tempat ini untuk menghancurkan?
Yeah, the reason is the government also sounding that we have a mistake for the permit of this church, but on 2011, 2 years ago, on June, we have start our processing to get permit from government. We have complete the signature or the permit from the people around from this church, and also check their picture and make the surat pernyataan.
It's like a confirmation, letter of confirmation.
Letter of confirmation, and they have signature on it. So we move on our permit to our kepala desa, village leader, and this is the problem. The village, our village leader, not give us the permit because I think, this is my opinion, because he is afraid for the intolerant people. So I know he is the victim too.
On 12th of September 2010, as we were walking towards the place where we were holding our Sunday service, Muslim fundamentalists came on 8 motorcycles armed with knives. We tried to protect each other. They stabbed one of our elders because they hate Christians. As we were taking the elder to the hospital, the man who knifed the elder attacked me. He hit me in the face and 3 times on my back with a wooden plank. There were no police at the time of the attack. I was later told that I was the target. I still feel traumatized about the situation.
This building is not a church, it is a school. Yeah. So when we use this building, this property for worship in every Sunday, they prohibit us because we don't have legally it is not a church, so we can use it.
The Ahmadiyya community has existed in Indonesia since 1925 and has approximately 500,000 members. Historically, they have faced relatively few problems, but since 2005, Ahmadis have faced an increasing campaign of harassment, discrimination, and violence. On May 5, 2013, a mob attacked an Ahmadi community in Kampong Wawarigi Tasikmalaya Regency. No one was injured, but 29 houses, the madrasa, and the elementary school were attacked. The main target was the mosque.
Before this incident, my children slept separately, but now they sleep together because they are afraid.
I do not feel safe. I just need one thing. I want to feel safe.
We want to let the other know is that we are not safe any longer in our own place, in our own houses. We are not free to believe in what we want to believe. But I wish, and this is the only wish, that we can live in peace and safe, and we can believe in what we want to believe. That's all.
In 2013, an Ahmadi mosque was forcibly closed and sealed in Bekasi, a suburb of Jakarta, with approximately 20 Ahmadis refusing to leave.
This is the real picture of Indonesia, where the government cannot guarantee the right to practice our religion and faith. Even though we have the Constitution and law, the government cannot guarantee our freedom. This is the weakness of our country, because we do not have a strong leader who cannot make any decisions. The local government is also powerless. That is why we are attacked again and again. So we want to tell the world that our country is plagued by intolerance.
What do you think all this means for Indonesia as a whole?
But to be honest, in the whole picture, we still safe. We still feel that Indonesia is our big home. But we are very worried the increase of the intolerance group. And to myself, the reason why we are afraid, because our government seems very weak and not have a strong policy to defend them, to give a clear policy to them. But they very afraid to defend the right of our religious belief. It is a different side with what the Constitution says. So I feel this, we are talking about policy interest, and also we are talking about the vision or our dreams as society. So to myself, I still think we are dreaming that we can live together.
Negatively, it is a sign that we are not part of Indonesia. But positively, it is a sign also that we still should contribute more honestly, to build this country. Not only use Indonesia as place of worship, and we didn't do anything for the sake of Indonesia. Yeah. So spiritually, it is a sign for us that we should pay the price of our cost of discipleship.
I have no problems with ordinary Muslims, but when I see people dressed in an Arab way, with a long beard and the mark of FPI on their forehead, it affects me. I preach forgiveness, and I must forgive them, but it is not easy. I hope you are here not only to hear our stories, but to do something, to make change. There is no religious freedom here anymore. The situation in Indonesia is very sad. Our government does not stand for the truth.
This is my right to worship, my basic human right. Why can't I have the right? I feel like a guest in this country. In the Constitution, there is no minority and majority. I feel like I am in another country here. This country was colonized by the Dutch with tanks and bombs. Now my Indonesian brothers are colonizers, coming with equipment to kill my rights and destroy my faith.
Law and justice do not work here. We hope the international community will give a strong warning to the President that there is a big problem in Indonesia.
We believe that the Indonesian government must act soon to defend Indonesia's tradition of pluralism. They need to take action to bring perpetrators of hatred and violence to justice, to protect vulnerable communities, and to counter the teachings of extremism and hatred by upholding the country's tradition of tolerance. And we believe the international community has a very important role to play by putting pressure on the Indonesian government to take that action. And we believe that all of us in the international community can play our part by putting pressure on our own governments to put pressure on the Indonesian government to defend Indonesia's religious freedom.